Hi, I'm Kristin Sakoda, Director of the Los Angeles County Department of Arts and Culture. Welcome to a series of conversations about arts and health as we recognize LA County's Arts and Health Week. We've heard a bit about the stakes, about the role of the arts, and why it matters to us all. The arts improve quality of life, have vital importance to all of us, no matter our age, place, and arts uplift our communities, never more so than in times of crisis or need for recovery, all topics we're going to cover. So today I want to first acknowledge and thank the incredible leadership of all the partners making this possible. LA Opera, thank you so much for your steadfast commitment to this work. Renee Fleming, the World Health Organization, and LA County Supervisor Hilda Solis, who shepherded the motion creating LA County Arts and Health Week and has supported these events each year. I want to also acknowledge the LA County Department of Arts and Culture and all the staff and all the partners that make today possible and who are doing the good work of arts and health, not only here in Los Angeles County, the largest county in the nation, but across the US and around the world. Looking forward to being in conversation with you all. Today we're going to talk about community care, healing, and resilience through the arts. I'm Kristin Sakoda, Director of the LA County Department of Arts and Culture, and I'm pleased to share this presentation about the role of arts and culture in creative recovery in our work and beyond. The Department of Arts and Culture is the local arts agency for LA County, and so our mission is to advance arts, culture, and creativity throughout the largest county in the US. And we do that through a number of ways. We've talked about the intersection of our work with arts and health, cutting across so many core programs that build access to the arts and build connections between these two critically important disciplines. Like the role of grant making, providing funds to cultural organizations for the incredible work that they do, bringing arts in community and advancing strategies between arts and health. Like the work of civic art, commissioning artists for visual art in health and hospital settings to ensure that both staff and patients have the opportunity to experience the arts. Like the role of arts education and healing-centered and trauma-informed work, like we pull together both for in-school, but also in community and institutions, and support for young people who are in county systems of care, as well as thinking about artists as creative strategists for cross-sector initiatives, placing artists in county departments, like with the aging department, or with health, or with public health, or mental health, or immigrant affairs. But for this conversation, we're going to focus on the role of the arts in recovery. We've had so much that all of us as a nation, as a world, and right here in Los Angeles have been dealing with, that our communities are experiencing, whether they are climate disasters, whether they are man-made, whether they are civic trauma. But we've seen an incredible outpouring of mutual aid, arts and health, and so many incredible people doing so much incredible work. So right now, I want to acknowledge all the people doing this around the world, and I'm going to highlight some of the things we've been doing at LA County Arts and Culture as a case study, if you will, of our response so far to the LA wildfires. First, I think it's important to realize that in the arts or in any sector, coordination, communication, and joint leadership can be incredibly important. So playing that role for the arts is something that we have carved out time to do, and we're so grateful for so many at the city, county, state, and federal levels coming together with art service organizations as well to organize and share information about resources for arts in disaster and in recovery. We also know that cultural organizations need flexibility in their grants, they need funding support, and artists do as well. So a strategy to provide that flexibility for cultural organizations is critical for all funders. We also are really proud and thankful to have been able to direct funding that came from Fire Aid, which was raised from the incredible musicians that donated their time. We were able to direct funds allocated to arts and culture to award over 280 artists and creatives who lost homes or studios. These were actors, filmmakers, music producers, as LA is so known for them, and as our two communities hardest hit, Altadena and the Palisades, are both deeply embedded in arts, culture, and the creative economy. In the realm of arts, as part of healing and mental health, we've been able to pivot programs and increase resources for programs such as the Creative Wellbeing Approach. This was developed collaboratively with the LA County Department of Mental Health, Office of Child Protection, and community-based partners like the Arts for Healing and Justice Network and my team at the Department of Arts and Culture. It utilizes healing-centered and trauma-informed methodologies to bring trusted teaching artists and cultural organizations to young people, students, educators, and families where most needed. While originally developed for foster youth and youth in county systems, we were able to pivot and lead with this as support for all the young people that attended the county's care camps, stood up for young people who lost their homes and their schools, as well as to support the educators and the students in the school districts, such as Pasadena Unified. But how heartening to see the young people and the educators be able to process civic trauma and express through the arts. We also know that cultural preservation is critically important to our heritage, and not only to redressing and mitigating the effect of disasters, but to rebuilding and reimagining and holding on to what we have in the way forward. And so as we look at communities, we know that providing opportunities for that has been so impactful. Through our Civic Art Division and a group of conservators across LA called Art Recovery LA, we have partnered to bring forward free conservation clinics where artists and community members bring in artworks and ephemera for on-site professional assessment and treatment and conservation as cultural care. And of course, we are always interested in ways that arts achieve access and equity across policy areas. So we're a proud partner of the national initiative Artists at Work, and bringing national investment with 4 artists who are now going to be paid for the next 18 months to work with local nonprofits on a theme that we originated called Recovery and Resilience. 2 of those artists will specifically focus on efforts related to the Palisades and Eaton, Altadena area wildfires, addressing those with LA Conservancy and the LA City Library. And 2 artists, one will focus on environmental and climate change and adaptation with the Boyle Heights Arts Conservancy, and the final one will focus on the intersections of arts, health, and well-being with LA Commons. I'm so excited to see what they will do. Also, one of the last strategies I want to uplift for us is the importance of data collection. Working with Smithsonian Institution, with surveys, with individual organizations to collect data on the impact on arts, creative businesses, cultural organizations, and heritage sites is part of assessing the way forward and the needs ahead, because the process of recovery is a long one, and we need information. So how can we collectively advance creative recovery? Well, that's what this next conversation that you'll hear will be about. And I want to just stimulate that before we get to our panelists with notions that we can come together to leverage the unique capacities of arts, culture, and creativity for healing, for well-being, for social cohesion, as spaces to gather and as part of the rebuilding of communities and civic spaces and the legacy of our histories together. But it's going to take public and private collaboration. It's going to take investment and embedding arts and culture into other agencies and into recovery plans, using the incredible examples we're seeing not just here, but I want to recognize North Carolina. I want to recognize Hawaii. I want to recognize so many colleagues, whether it's New York City or others around the world, doing this work. So thank you so much. And I'll end with a quote from an incredible legacy musician right here in LA. We need the first responders. They're the ones that keep us alive. But the second responders are the ones that give us hope. That's what we need. That's why I believe we need artists. Thank you.